This is my turn after excellent presentations of Keivan and Ramón. My role now is try to synthesize, to have some conclusions about how we can integrate these practices, these best practices, in organizational innovation and in technological innovation. This is Ramón has talked about Industry 4.0 solutions. We can consider this like a technological innovation. And lean green strategies should be a way of organizational innovation. And the question is, it is possible to integrate successfully these two approaches, these two types of innovation? I am going to use like the starting point the single model for organizational excellence. This is a model developed by the Single Institute in Utah State University. I'm going to talk very brief about them because my idea is to extend this model not only to a single organization, to extend to to some value chain. The Single Institute, they have experience since 1988 going to companies, trying to understand what is the elements that is going to allow companies to be to create a value, to satisfy the value needs of their customers. It's a very simple model at the beginning. The idea is all companies that are interested in results, in getting the planned results for the company. And then what they are going to use. Basically, they are going to use systems. Basically, they are going to use management systems. Some of you are familiar with the quality management systems, but we have also maybe environmental management systems, different systems to achieving some objectives. And also, these systems, mainly management systems, are supported by tools. Tools that can be technologies, can be methodologies. But the idea is that, okay, organizations design and implement systems for achieving results. Systems are supported by tools, but systems and tools alone are not sufficient for achieving excellent results. Because tools and systems, the robots that were, maybe they are collaborative, they are very respectful with the workers, but you need people there. You need people, because people is going to operate the businesses. And any organization has a culture because we have people there, and each person, they have some beliefs, some personal values, and the aggregate of people values is going to be the culture of the company, and we are going to have some behavior there. The idea is that the organizational behavior and the organizational culture are going to have an important influence on the results of the companies. This is also from the single model. You can see the trademark. This is typical in US, and you have a model, and you have this model has a trademark, has been registered, and they have like three insights. The first one, if you want ideal results, the word optimal maybe is excessive. You want ideal results, you need ideal behaviors. But these behaviors are driven by beliefs and by systems. And for this reason, for getting the ideal behavior, also we need some principles that is going to inform this ideal behavior. It's very important to take into account that we need to create the leaders in the company. They need to create the right culture for getting excellent results. If you don't work in creating this culture by using sometimes some guiding principles that are shared for all the people in the company, you are not going to get excellent results, including because any organization is going to have a culture. If this culture is an intended culture, if this culture has formed because you have paid attention to create the right culture, sometimes you can have very negative effects on results. And then just mention the guiding principles proposed by the single model. The single model is inspired in many ways. I think it's inspired in the Toyota model, not the Toyota excellent model, because Toyota is not only the production system, it's also a complete philosophy about the management of an organization. And very important, the cultural enablers, that is leadership. They mention lead with humility, respect every individual. Of course, when we are talking about total quality management, we know that it's very important, continuous improvement, and we have the typical flow value, pull systems for the flow of the value, assure quality in the source, focusing in processes, embrace scientific thinking. Ramón, he knows very well what is important of scientific thinking, but getting the right results, and always keep seeking perfection again and again. It's this search for perfection. Very important also, enterprise alignment is kind of a strategic component. You need to have some strategy, but all has to be aligned with this strategy. Important to create constancy of purpose and to think systematically. You are managing a system, and it's something that has appeared several times here. And finally, what are the results? The excellent results. These results that can create value for the customer, but also that can create sustainable, profitable growth that is needed for the company survival and the company sustainability in the future. Okay. For answering the question I did at the beginning, how we can integrate these organizational innovation approaches with technological innovation approaches for creating value in the agri-food value chains, the starting point is going to be this single model. We have a common strategic objective. We want excellent results in creating and delivering something that we can know like triple bottom value. It's not only important our financial economic values, but it's something that also the social part, something like we know like people is important. Remember the comment of Ramón about these investment funds, that really they are going to see if you are creating also value for people, social value, and of course environmental dimensions, and sometimes we talk about the planet dimension. And these for the value chain stakeholders. Okay, we have the customers. In our case, we have the final consumers. But in society as a whole, it's also important because for the food industry, especially because it's important for the retailers. The retailers, they are aware that this the important that this create value also for society. And the idea is that we can combine advanced management system with advanced technologies and tools for getting this result, and we have to try to implement this both in the whole value chain. This is of course, there is something missing here, but the first approach is, okay, I can apply advanced management systems. Ramón have mentioned very issues related with connectivity. We can use technology and information, telecommunication and information technologies for doing this, information and communication technologies. Or we can consider lean and green, for instance, like advanced technologies and tools could be a case. We could expect that we are going to have this is two examples. Something wrong about the no, it's okay. No, just how we can organize organizational innovation for this triple bottom value creation and delivery. We need to design kind of sustainable value chain and the importance of analyze and developing and designing. Then in marketing, things are also changing. We talk about sustainable, for instance, we can develop, design sustainable marketing mix strategies. We can define the product, having into account this triple bottom value needs. Then something, okay, I know that maybe there is some debate, but for me right now, the climate change mitigation is really an huge urgency. We have some kind of emergency. For this reason, we need energy efficiency is very important. To reduce waste is very important because waste is connected with carbon footprint. We need really, I think, a big focus right now here. Okay. Also, we have to take into account integrated circular economy solutions because we have to do this before going to some kind of product life cycle management, but should be integrated for the whole supply chain, for the whole value chain. We need collaboration. When we are designing new products, I think there is very interesting studies in the Wageningen University that we can also not only to incorporate the voice of the customer to the industrial level, but sometimes it's very important to have into account also, for instance, the primary sector. Many things are happening in the primary sector that are very important for satisfying these values. And then once we have the integrated product life cycle management, okay, we know life cycle assessment is going to measure the sustainability performance of the value chain, but we know that this life cycle assessment, we have technologies for doing continuously and for trying to do more transparent. I think it's because it's a question also of trust. If we have value chains that are saying, okay, we are more sustainable than other value chains, I think we need some transparent, some ways of providing visibility to these efforts. And finally, this is like, we need continuous improvement. And I think the lean and green approach is provide this continuous improvement and going into some kind of continuous improvement cycle where we are going maybe to modifying value priorities and changing the marketing mix strategies and again and again. Okay. We have here the organizational innovation approaches I have mentioned, and just it's a kind of exercise of how, yes, thanks a lot, Keivan. I think like red is some solutions that could be considered like Industry 4.0 solutions. Blue is more maybe conventional, but maybe as important solutions as the Industry 4.0. For instance, when we are trying to develop or design. We try to design sustainable value chains. For instance, I think corporative social responsibility certification schemes could be important. Could be also a kind of tool that is going to provide trust in these efforts of the value chains. For instance, for improving value creation, value delivery, and this triple bottom scheme. But of course, we have also something that kind of integrated balance scorecard. We have right now sustainability integrated balance scorecard. You know, the balance scorecard is the tool that companies use to deploy the strategy in all the operations. But maybe we can also to extend the concept and to say, okay, in my organization, but also in the extended organization that is the value chain. Okay, it's not easy. I don't know, we can discuss, but we need something that align not only at the level of a particular organization, but we need to align for instance, the operations in the different companies involved in the supply chain with the objectives for this supply chain or this value chain. I'm not going, this is like a kind of preliminary list. For instance, sustainable marketing mix strategies and climate change mitigation. I think the sensors and real-time statistical process control, there are many opportunities related with improving energy efficiency there. We are exploring in some new European project also how we can use real-time collaborative energy management system. We have different organizations making some collaboration for a joint management of energy. I think there is nice opportunities there also. We have the different, and okay, it's something you have then, it's something how we can connect this organizational innovation with some advanced technologies and tools that really can support the success of these organizational innovation strategies, we could know. Okay, just I have commented before, results are strongly influenced by the organizational culture. Any organization has a culture. This culture may have formed unintendedly or may have been designed and fostered by leaders. And very important, sometimes unintended or most times unintended and managed cultures are out of control and can have really negative influence on results. Then it's not enough. With these elements we don't have, it's very difficult to get excellent results. And I think, okay, well, I think this is very important to work in creating a sustainability culture that for all the value chain connected with some shared guiding principles, common for all the operators in the value chain. And just, okay, these are guiding principles. It's something maybe in the next months we have to think about what could be. This is a preliminary proposal, but I think, of course, we need some cultural enablers. What could be, for instance, we need some to understand organizational behavior. Every time is more important. We need also some leadership alignment. I think Keivan mentioned with the case in the supply chain, you were working with leaders to the different organizations in the supply chain, if they are not aligned in the objectives, in the values, things are not going to work very well. You know, I think this alignment is very important for really. You need all the leaders working in the same direction. If not, for this reason, we need to agree at least in some shared values and beliefs. And okay, for me also it's very important things like how to get the engagement of all people in the different organizations. Don't forget about talent management. In a new, we have right now a new environment, a new production environment where every time technology is going to play a greater role. But in this environment, talent is more and more important. You need talented people. You need really to make an effort in education, in training, because then you are going to get you are going to create value when you do this. And okay, you can explore some way of open innovation with cybersecurity, but you need to share information. If you don't share information, it's very difficult to innovate as a whole. Okay, continuous improvement. We introduce here the triple bottom value concept. The importance of some kind of integrated value chain management, and I think technology could help here, but still these cultural enablers are going to be very important. Right now it's not about enterprise alignment, it's about value chain alignment. And the importance of having some integrated management systems. We have right now we have ERP systems that are being extended for becoming supply chain management systems. Companies like SAP are doing, but still we need better connection of everything. And finally, the results here is to create, and also I like the expression, you need to create, but you need also to capture value, because if you don't capture value, later or sooner or later you are dead. It's not. You need really to see how you. And this is basically. That's I'm proposing some ideas for discussion later on, and the idea is basically that I believe that it's possible to integrate advanced management systems and advanced technology and tools. And this integration can allow to improve competitiveness, to get better profits, but also to make value chains more sustainable. But very important, if we want to achieve excellent results, if we really want to create value and delivery, we need to create this and manage this shared sustainability culture, and we need some kind of shared guiding principles for these sustainable value chains. Basically, this is my set of ideas trying to integrate things. What part of the brain is this? I think it's the right. The right. Yeah, the people that is left-handed. Maybe. I would like to be really good in both sides, but I don't know. Okay, thank you very much. I know you have any question.
I don't know if that information can go against that companies.
I think it's a very good question. I think always you can set up the levels of information you are going to share. Right now, there are experiences. If you think in Mercadona is sharing a lot of information, including financial information, sometimes with suppliers. Mercadona is a retailer in Spain, very important retailer in Spain. I think the #1 right now. But always you need some agreement to see what you are going to share. But it's not easy. Another example is we have here Susana from Cooperativas, Spanish COPs, and I think the cooperatives is always a good case where different operators are associated are collaborating and sharing information. And I think there are good opportunities in this kind of collaborative organizations for sharing information. I think it's something about to change the way of thinking, but it's not easy. And Ramón was commenting. There are a lot of potential for improving the supply chain performance, but sometimes we can make this potential real because companies don't trust each other. And it's something sometimes because...
How can improve that?
You need to create a culture. You need to create a culture. I don't know, maybe I need the help of Keivan. He knows he has worked with many companies, and I know. What do you think, Keivan? Do you think it's...
Definitely change culture. No doubt, I agree.
There is not new technologies that you can use to trust each other.
It's a good question. Okay, technology play a role sometimes. If you analyze what happened with ERP systems, SAP is a good example. These new technologies, these new information and communication technologies, management systems in some way, require to share information for improving it. And sometimes at the beginning, and the people say, okay, if I want this management system running, I need to share this. And then, okay, maybe I can share some more information.
So the technology is the enabler, and Ramón was saying that the technology is out there. Some companies, when you listen to him, he's saying some companies are using technology for the sake of technology, but some companies use it, they know exactly what they want. This is the case. You see, I don't like to update my Windows to Windows 10. Because if Windows...
me neither.
Yeah. If it's doing...
I did the reverse.
Yeah, exactly. Me too. I did the reverse because I'm used to this, it's efficient. The last thing I want is something new because I will become inefficient for a month before I learn the new Windows. Why would I want the new technology? So it's horses for courses. If it's suiting you, the technology you have, you don't have to. The technology per se will not give you anything. Not necessarily. But of course, it's a great enabler because in the world that everything is connected, then people are more used to sharing. Inadvertently, I am used to being on Facebook, everybody knows me. 15 years ago, this didn't exist. You Google each one of us, you will have a ton of information on each one of us. So we are much more used to it. We're much more au fait with this effect. It's an enabler. Yeah. I think it's what is very important in that model is why we need the enablers. And that's the critical part.
Yes, I agree.
Well, I just want to make a comment about your last speech. I think I work in more technical aspects and not much on management, and I know just a little bit about management, but I think that what you have commented about the human factor and how the company culture is created from the values, the personal values of all its workers, and especially from the leaders. I think that is really relevant. And in that sense, I also want to comment, I have like looked at the seminar and all the the people talking, and I have like a lot the example of Keivan that talks about 1/3 of the cases work perfectly when he wants to drive a lean and green experience, and 1/3 half and half, and 1/3 of them they are a total disaster, because I think that, well, sometimes in management, as I have seen, you give some tools and some systems, but if you don't believe in them, it's completely impossible probably that something works. And I think that this view is quite relevant, because sometimes that I read or I heard about management techniques, they focus on the technique, but the technique will help on the communication, but you should have something for communicate. If not, it will not work. And well, it's just congratulations about the seminar. And I think that I really like this last focus on the human factor.
Thank you very much. I agree that people is very important. Despite some people is worried about you know, this industry 4.0. This revolution, new industrial revolution, we can lose many employment, a lot of employment, but maybe we have some reduction in employment. I'm a little bit worried, but still, I think the best companies, the first-class division, they are going to use human talent, because human talent is keep being very important. And the thing, right now we have a challenge related with education. We need to educate our engineers, our technical staff, our employees for the new paradigm, for the new model. Because if not, we have a problem. I think one of the questions we have now is, really we have people that are really prepared for the new technologies, including for the new management models that also are evolving very fast. I don't know. And then, I don't know if you have any question. We are going to finish a little bit. That's fine. We can go for a beer.
The Spanish maths is a 3 o'clock.
Yes. Yeah. No. Thanks a lot for being here, and also thanks a lot because many interesting questions, and I think has been a very alive seminar. Few people, but very talented people. I like it. Thank you.